We did the top 50, but 50 is not enough. The top 100 is what it's about. We always talk about the top 100 in fantasy, the top 100 in fantasy. And we did this one. I'm also on the old man squad. I'm here on Believe. You can catch me in a bunch of places, just like you can catch D-Mac in a bunch of places and Adam King in a bunch of places. And they're going to join me for this one. It is our last top draft of the preseason. This is our final top 100. Since I caught up with the guys, things have happened. LeBron injuries, other injuries, talk. Mitch Robinson is now a starter in New York. Preseason hype train 2 is in full effect. How does that impact your draft? How does that impact the top 100? Well, we're going to go all out. We're going to, just like Spinal Tap, we're going to go to 11. This one goes to 11. We're going to crack it up. Top 100. This is it with D-Mac and Adam King right here on Believe in Fantasy. Gentlemen, how are we? It's top 100 time.
Hottest 100. Good to see you guys.
Hottest 100.
Yeah, if we all had those same initials, it'd be like Triple J, wouldn't it? But we're not. We're not triple anything.
A bit of DMK, MDK, KDM. I think
KDM,
for your.
I don't know. Yeah,
a bit of an acronym for it. Can you? Let me just ask this one to start off. I'm going to have everyone just one question to start. Shout out to the West Tigers and your cup right there. Yeah. What is one biggest thing that has helped shape the top 100 changes for you since we last spoke for the top 50? What do you think has been some of the biggest movements there?
Look, the LeBron injury obviously changes a couple of things. I don't know if we did this before the Tyler Hero injury. I can't remember.
We did not. We did not.
No, okay. So that's probably another one. And then, yeah, I mean, for me, there's a bit of shuffling in that top 50 and top 70. But for me, it's probably guys that were towards the back end of drafts in the top 120 who have maybe pushed inside the top 100. You mentioned one of those guys in your intro there, who I was pretty high on, and I'm just as high on him now. And there's a couple others as well that I've moved inside the top 100. So.
Is this Mitch Robinson? This is a guy that we've shared our affinity for because we forget that even when he's healthy, he plays and he plays well. And now he's looking not as rotund as one could say. Someone who's looking very fit and makes me want to roll up my sleeves right here. Shout out to Mally, the sleeveless crew. D-Mac, sorry, just get the. Can you take your jumper off? Can you? I always just feel very intimidated when you've got the tattoos out there, D-Mac.
Oh, yeah, because I'm such a tough man, aren't I? Yeah. Hottest 100 shaping up nicely. What are we? A week away? Yeah, I'm a T man. Not T-bag. A week away, so really exciting. I've had a couple of drafts and we're in slow drafts at the moment. So the LeBron injuries definitely shaped it, and depending on the format of your league, as well as when your playoffs start, definitely dictate where or how early you go on these guys.
And fantasy industry pickup league, which is one of my favorite leagues. Every single year the draft order just came out. Initially, I was really unhappy because it hadn't been shaken yet. But now, thank goodness, D-Mac, you get to draft before Josh Lloyd and before B-Dub. So good. Thanks very much for taking that bullet for me. And just so you know now, you are wedged in between Dan Titus and Josh Lloyd if you haven't seen your draft order. So welcome to that fun for you, mate.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I'll relish that, mate. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on.
So this is simple. You can. I'm not going to put the Instagram up on there. You can follow me at NBA GWiz. I'm not going to put the Instagram pictures up there or the video up there. We did one. We did a top 50 show, boys. And as I said at the top of the show, it had changed around. We did that via a draft. We're going to do the exact same thing right now via draft. We are going to do the top 100. We are going to go through it from front to back. As you can see, our draft room here is loaded. It is paused and ready to go. So what we're going to do for this draft is we are going to draft D-Mac. You are apparently first now since I reconfigured it. Don't care. We're going to do this the exact same order though. So I will read out the players and their initial ranking. You can agree or disagree. We can say change or no change. And we can go from there to get this moving in the right direction pretty quickly, especially if we think that people have moved around. So I will unpause the draft And just so we're all on the same page, the first picks of this draft were as follows. I am going to open it up on my side. We have Jokic, Wemby, SGA, Luka, and Giannis, followed by Anthony Davis at number 6. So if we choose to continue, we can. I will unpause the draft. And where are you going to start us off there, D-Mac?
No brainer. It's Jokic. There is a case that maybe Jokic doesn't go 1, depending on when your playoffs start, but I think the safe bet's Jokic there.
Now, I've seen a little bit of changes around. LeBron's injury is going to make me change. I'm going to push Luka into 3. No, I can't. No, I'm still going to go Shea, but I am going to go Luka straight away. And I think it's really interchangeable. I think they have a very reasonable playoff schedule, the Lakers, and a case can be made there either single way. Now, our next one on that clock was we have Giannis, Davis, Cunningham, Young, and Trae Young as our next picks. Kingy, where are you going with this, mate?
Look, I'll go with Giannis. Personally, I don't really take Giannis, but I know he is sort of the consensus number 5, so I'll put him there.
And he is right now. Yeah, and he is right now, though. He's the last one, though, isn't he, though? He is that because he's 4.8 across all blended ADPs. And then there's a jump down to Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, and Davis. So what were you going to say, D-Mac, on that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm with Kingy there. I find it difficult to have Giannis in my builds as well, because as you know, I like to be a little bit more balanced. But yeah, consensus number 5 for Giannis, so I get it. And he's going to have massive usage this season.
Now, you do have the interesting spot. The 6, the middle of the first round, towards the back end of the first round, is almost, I want to say interchangeable, but it's a little bit interchangeable. Would you agree, D-Mac? Like, it's whichever way you want it.
Yeah, it's pick your poison, really. But my poison is Cade Cunningham. I'm really high on Cade. I know that we had AD go at this spot in our top 50, but I just love KD, and I think he takes another step up this season. So I'm going KD. And look, I think
KD, you mean CC?
Sorry, CC. Club. CC. I'm going CC.
A lot of initials. Kenny got us on the initial talk very early this morning.
Yeah, and then I think Anthony Edwards is probably next in terms of ADP, so I could take that safe route.
Yep.
I probably will go AD. I'm going to go AD because I think there is potential that he does play some at the 5. He plays a little bit more at center.
Look, at this point in time, I'm a little bit dubious of always taking him there. I do think there are better players. I've been an advocate for guys like Steph Curry in the first round. I am just going to go in and I'm going to take Anthony Edwards because I know that he is the consensus right now. And these guys are kind of interchangeable. But I'm probably, you know what? I'm actually going to change it up. I'm going to reach into Maxey.
Ooh.
I'm going to bring Tyrese Maxey up at my draft list. Oh, that was, Kingy did that. Kingy did it.
No, you did that for me.
So I do that. I can do that for you.
Commish.
Oh,
come on, Commish.
Commish powers. Oh my gosh, I commished you. Here, let me undo that pick. That's my one. Undo last pick. I've never done it before.
You got commished.
It does. You got commished. Definitely not Max Christie. You didn't get Max Christie. Who are you want to take there, Kingy?
I'll put Edwards there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's again. I'm not the biggest fan. I'd consider Trae there, but I'm okay to put Edwards there. I haven't actually drafted in that. I hope to get Anthony Davis in that spot, but he doesn't always fall.
He doesn't. I'm going to put Trae Young, as you said there. I'm going to back that up with Tyrese Maxey. I think they're both very reasonable around this one. And this is almost our first round of the draft really done in a second. So Jokic, Wemby, Shea, Cade, Yanni, Luka, AD, Edwards, Trae Young, Maxey off the board. Who else are you still seeing there, mate?
Gets tricky here. So we're at, what are we at? Pick 11. Yeah, there's one of about 10 players you could put here. I'm going to put in. I'm going to go with. I'm actually going to go with Devin Booker.
Oh, I love it.
I think. I don't know. Having watched Phoenix, it was only preseason in China, but I just think Booker is going to do a lot this season, and I think he probably wants to prove a lot of people not wrong necessarily, but prove that he can carry this team without Beal, without KD. and be a winning team. So yeah, pretty high on Booker.
Well, he was at number 10 in our last draft. And funnily enough, the only person who has not yet been drafted is James Harden. He went number 9 in our first draft. The person who's moved up from this one is Maxi, who's gone from 18 into my list right here. So how does that impact your thinking here, D-Mac?
I'm taking James Harden. I'm still a believer of James Harden, even on that, I guess, the old man squad over at the Clippers there. But I still believe in Harden there, and particularly as I like to, you know me, Matty G, I love my point guards.
You love your point guards so much.
Yeah, and because I love point guards, I could go Steph here. I feel like Cat is probably dropping. So I'm going to take Cat because I still think that he's got a significant role to play even alongside a Mitchell Robinson. I can't see Mitch Robinson playing a ton of minutes. Yes, we love him, but I still like Cat to play the 4 and the 5.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Kingy, back to you, mate. Where are you thinking?
Is it too early?
Oh, what are you going to do? Oh, geez. How are you going to break my brain and make me do some?
No, I'm not going to. All right, I'm going to throw Evan Mobley in.
Oh, no, you're going to have to, because now I'm going to have to do the bloody math. Okay, go. You start talking about it.
It's high. I don't know. I don't know why I'm higher on him than I was 2 weeks ago. I just am. I can't.
What pick have you taken him at there?
14.
Oh, look, he went 16 last time. That's completely fine.
Okay, so we're only just up. All right.
We're just up, which means, though, that you put me on the clock now to figure out who I want, and I don't think there's anyone finer than 2 other point guards that I really rate. Is this pissing you off, D-Mac?
Yeah, look at your build. I know we're not going to have a 3-person team, but there's a lot of point guards there, mate.
This is all point guards. And I think this shows you where we are. Actually, here's an interesting note to make right now. This is the end of we're about to make the 15th pick overall. So we're the 3rd pick into a standard 12-team draft, or almost the end of a 16-team first draft right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just under half of the people have been point guards. In fact, Devin Booker is pretty much a point guard, shooting guard, point guard. So I'll say 7. So half of the picks that have been made right now are basically point guards. The other ones, if you all look at the board right now, power forwards or centers, except one, Anthony Edwards.
I think you could even argue that Anthony Edwards is a point guard in Minnesota. I mean, Mike Conley has got one foot in the grave, and DiVincenzo hasn't really done a lot. So he's not a point guard, but he's going to have the ball in his hands like a point guard.
So it's a really kind of interesting thing to note that we talk about these runs. D-Mac, I know that you talk about the shortage of point guards in drafts. This is case in point, proof in the pudding kind of thing right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your point guards early. We know that in the middle rounds, that's where you get your centers, get your point guards early, unless you want to punt assists and punt point guard stats. Yeah, grab them early.
Well, look, I'm going to go back-to-back picks right here. I'm going to unpause the draft. And in no particular order, I'm going to take 2 guys who I love around this zone. I'm going to take Stephen Curry, and I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell. Both of these guys getting back towards their view at 15 and 16. Both of them are pretty much in line with where we had them the first time we did this show. And we had Donovan Mitchell at 15 and Curry at 13. The only real change here is Mobley drops on up.
Oh, there's my pick.
Thompson.
Just,
man.
Popped up on my screen. Because I believe we probably recorded before the Fred VanVleet injury as well.
I think we did.
So his injury bumps a men up a little bit for me.
Well, speaking of our men, I'm going his teammate, Kevin Durant, there. In terms of ADP, we've got Domantas Sabonis at the top of the board, Alperen Şengün. Look, I generally don't take Sabonis, but I think he can still have a solid season. Or do I go the hype guy with Şengün? Look, I'm going to go Sabonis. Do you want a hype guy? That's just 3 Houston Rockets in a row. Let's go hype guy. Let's go hype guy. Come on.
How did Amen Thompson not make our list the first time? FYI. That's very interesting. So he is just soared up the charts after this. That's a massive soar up the charts for Amen Thompson.
All right, back on me. Well, what are we up to? Pick 20.
Pick 20.
Yeah, look, I'm sort of with DMAC. Like Sabonis probably drops in here.
Yep.
I'm way off Sacramento this year. I just
Yep.
think it's just a mess. I'm not going to use what I really think about him.
Yes, it's a PG rated show, King.
So I'm going to go. Look, it's high-ish, but he has looked really good in the preseason. Very good. So, yeah.
And look, Şengün has raced up from 29, which is fair, but that's right on. Jalen Johnson was the 19th pick the last time. Oh, and there we go. Amen Thompson was 20th last time, so he's gone from 20th.
Oh, okay.
And Jalen Johnson was 19th. So sorry, I just put down Amen. I just put down Amen instead of Thompson as his surname in my show notes from last night. I thought it was a prayer. I thought it was a prayer that I had written instead. Now, look, around this time, I'm going Josh Giddey. It's 21. Is it too early? Scotty Barnes, Jalen Williams. Oh, this is tough. I'm probably going to have to go. I'm still going to go Barnes, and I'm going to go Giddey back to back here. These are very close to where I had them last time. Where I said, pause. It wouldn't pause for me. There we go. So unpause. Giddey, and then Barnes back to back, pretty much around the same spot we had them last time at 22 and 23 respectively. Back to you, Kingy.
I'll throw Sabonis in here. I think this is sort of where he has to go. And actually, I think if you drafted Jokic with your first pick and you could somehow land Sabonis with your second sort of pick, which would be the next pick, I think. But in this range, really nice pairing. So, I'll put Sabonis there. I think he's going to go top 25 in most leagues.
I also have a look at this one. I mentioned this to you, D-Mac, in one of our drafts to do with Papi Roy. He had the chance to go Jokic before the LeBron injury, and then he could have done Giddey. And for me, that's just a huge startup. So if you can pair a guy like Giddey or a Sabonis in that at that turn, if it's not third round reversal, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, LeBron is still at the top in terms of ADP, but that'll come down, obviously. Jalen Brunson, we know that the Knicks are going to take a little bit of a haircut in terms of minutes played. Could bode well for them, actually, with their health and longevity. Jalen Williams has some concerns, the wrist and not really shooting at full capacity, but I'm going to take J-Dub anyway. He's a favorite of mine. Yeah, I'm going to take J-Dub.
All right.
Let me have J-Dub.
Take him.
Yeah, I'm taking J-Dub. Where was he taken in the previous one as well, in the top 50 last time, mate?
I can take 50. J-Dub, here we go, as a nice little reference point. He was taken at Williams. I've got to go back here. People keep on asking me questions I should know the answers for. It's on this one. No, he fell a little bit, I'm pretty sure. Helgren went up there. De'Aaron Fox was before him. Jalen Williams went... Didn't draft. Well, how do we not draft him? I'll find him. Kingy, it's on you. You find it while I go through our list.
Oh, I think it's back on me, actually. So I'm going to go. Yeah, back on me.
17. I just had him as J-Dub. He was 17 last time. Back to you, D-Mac.
17. Yeah, that 17 for me is too high. So I'm okay with where I grabbed him. Now, a guy that I'm a little bit more comfortable in grabbing, which I haven't been this way for quite some time, it's just the upside. And it does depend on how you've drafted previously in terms of the previous rounds. Oh, you auto drafted LeBron, tell me, or someone did that. I definitely don't want LeBron. Yeah, I don't want that. I want LaMelo Ball. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Commish. LaMelo for me. I just like the upside. But again, if you've gone risky prior to LaMelo, probably stay away at this point.
It's fair enough. Kingy, on you, mate.
What are we at? 26. Yeah, this is sort of where LeBron, if LeBron was healthy, this is where LeBron, I think, for me, would settle in. But he's not. So I will go with...
And he went 25th last time, so you're bang on. This is exactly around the zone that he went last time.
Yeah. I might go Jalen Brunson. He's not someone I'm super high on, but again, just getting those assists early, I think
Mhm.
bumps someone like him sort of half a round up at this point. So he's probably more of a top 35 player, borderline top 30. But I'm okay getting him at 26 because there's just no one who sort of screams out, pick me at this point. So I'll go with Brunson.
Well, I'm gonna take a bit of a plot twist here and take Chet Holmgren, because at least I need some other forwards in my list. And Chet Holmgren, according to ours last time, we took Chetty at 27, and that actually falls pretty much in line with where he went last time. One of the other guys that we did have a look at last time and went after that was LaMelo Ball, Şengün, and Derek White. I still see Derek White around the same. He's looked pretty good in the preseason. So I am going to go, why is that there? Derek White. And I'll put Derek White in and draft with the 29th pick overall. And if you are looking to be an MVP, like Derek White is probably unassailably the MVP of the Celtics this year. Like he could come away very easily the number one player in your Boston Celtics. And if you want to be the number one player in your fantasy team, make sure you get onto Believe in Fantasy. There's only a few days to go to visit believeinfantasy.com to enter to win a $100 Amazon gift card, NBA rookie cards. There's Anthony Edwards, we've mentioned, Tyrese Halliburton, Mobley, Maxey, LaMelo, Cade Cunningham. There's PSA, graded rookie cards, and a whole bunch of benefits where you get access to the experts. I know this because DMAC, I don't know about you, but I wake up in the middle of the morning and on my Discord feed, there is just a ton of questions every single day. Make sure you get involved with believeinfantasy.com and get access to our free newsletter. And you can also subscribe here in chat as well. Just click the link below. Back to you, Kingy. I'll see you there.
Okay. Now, do we want to go with who we value, like who I think is the 30th best player, or who?
Yes.
Because the next guy that I want to put here is, I think he's a top 30 player, but I don't think you have to take him here.
If you think that he is worth of the top 30 player, and outside of ADP, I will try and very quickly. Oh no, I'm all in. I'm all in on it.
I'll put him there.
Because
I have no idea what we had him at before, but
he wasn't in the top 50. I don't think he was in the top 50. I can find out. I think he actually was. I think I put him in there a little bit later.
He might have been in there, sort of top 40 or something.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I think. A quick look, because that's actually something that really got on my goat the other day. Reeves was 42 last time. Austin Reeves was 42nd.
Okay.
I love that. DMAC, in the auction draft that we did a couple of days back, it got held up for a short time. So I was around about 15, 20 minutes late. And he was in my queue. He was one of the ones. And I found out that I got into a bidding war with Josh Lloyd very quickly. And I just had to cool my jets and focus elsewhere, which annoyed me. And I listened to both of your shows. And I was very upset that I didn't get Austin Reeves.
Well, I'm going to grab someone that I've been high on all preseason, all off season, and I will continue to be high on him. It's Jamal Murray. So he's not the next guy. According to ADP, but I just value him above some of these other guys. So I'm grabbing Jamal Murray here. And another one of my guys, again, if you have to scroll down a little bit, do so. I'm big on Trey Murphy. And you saw him in person in Melbourne last week. How do you look?
Yeah,
lovely guy.
Lovely guy. Didn't play the Sunday game. And I got to talk to him in his street clothes on the Sunday. Just a nice dude. Really happy, looked healthy. He looked excited and engaged with the team. They actually all looked like they were having a hell of a lot of fun. His current ADP is 55 right now. So you put him 32. You've jumped him a couple of rounds up. And just to reference our last time we did the top 50, Murphy did get a run. I'm pretty sure we put him in at 39. So he's made the list again. Just jumped 7 spots ahead, Kingy.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Trey Murphy will, he'll be very good this season. I've gone with Jaren Jackson, dealing with a bit of a toe thing, but there's sort of word that he could be ready for opening night. I don't think he will be, but the fact that it's being discussed probably means he's only going to miss maybe a week. I just think he was very good last season. They've lost Desmond Bain. Hopefully, Ja Morant is healthy for Grizzlies' sake, but I'm A-okay taking Jaren Jackson at 32.
And I think at 24 minutes in and we're going to race towards this because we're doing a good job of going where we're at. I mean, it all kind of pretty much falls out from ADP sooner or later, but we have made some changes. The most significant ones, I think, so to really mention are this. Kawhi Leonard hasn't been drafted yet. Franz Wagner hasn't been drafted yet. Tyler Hero hasn't been drafted yet. Dyson Daniels, 32, and Miles Turner, 31, have not been drafted yet. De'Aaron Fox was previously the highest alongside LeBron James at 26 and 25 respectively when we first did that. But because of their injuries, they have now come down. So if you have an IR or an IL spot in your draft, this is where you'd be looking to, okay, so they're going to fall in my draft. So I guess the best takeaway of this is, guys, is look at where they're falling to in your draft. And if their value are missing a short amount of time, we can pick them up for a little bit of a discount, one would say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you've got to be aware of what the injuries are and then how the rotation plays out. But yeah, where are you going with this one, Matty G?
Look, I'm going to one of my guys. Let me unpause it, and he's right here at the top, Kawhi Leonard. No problem with it whatsoever. He's a first round when he plays player. He is falling here. I don't let him go past 40. I'm not going to let him go past 40 in this draft again. In fact, the last time that I had him, as I said, he was well down on that list. Again, so I am just going to draft Kawhi, and then I am going to get rid of that, and I'm going to take I'm going to take Dyson. I'm going to take Dyson Daniels. He's slid in this draft a little bit, and also I just want to take Dyson. Oh, you know what? I'll leave him for you, Kingy. I'll take Miles Turner. I feel bad if I take Dyson Daniels from you. I'll have an ethical issue with it. So I'll take Miles Turner there. I think this bloke is a potential top 25 player. There you go. Does that make you happy, Kingy?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy to get him there. I do think that Kayla went a bit nuts in the auction draft yesterday with Eric. Both of them were outbidding each other, and I think she got him for $37. So slight overpay, but she does have a bit of
that's her fantasy boyfriend.
It is her fantasy boyfriend. So
yeah.
I knew
Eric should have known better. He should have known better. He was being a jerk. He was actively trying to sabotage that and be like, I know.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
but
he did.
In the meantime, I've grabbed Pascal Siakam. I think, yeah, huge season ahead for the Pacers. And then I've followed that up with Ja Morant. Again, I think if he can stay healthy, particularly with my affinity for point guards, I like him this season.
Can you hear what you're looking at right about now?
I'll go Paolo. I think, there's a few holes there, obviously, but I think his trajectory is pointed in the right direction. So, taking him. I sort of considered him a couple of rounds ago, but I think here around the top 40 is pretty safe.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking I'm leaning in towards guys right now. Like someone else we had right now in the 40s last time was Jimmy Butler. So I'm going to take my guy Jimmy Butler right here because we all know that I love my older, aging players like my Kawhi Leonards. But look, this is a top 25 player when he's available. So I have absolutely no problem whatever taking him right there in the late 30s towards 40 whatsoever. The next guy that I've got high on my radar, and he didn't make the list last time, I'm pretty sure. Actually, or did he late? I'm going to take Kristaps. He has looked very good in the limited minutes that he's played at Atlanta. No problem here whatsoever. I have no hesitations. Any Farms guys taking Kristaps right around here with the 40th pick for someone who's a top 20 potential player if he's available?
Not at all. Not at all. And it's contract year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was next in my queue anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
I'll go with the youngster, Cooper Flagg.
My
next one. This is about where he goes around pick 40. He's looked pretty good in the preseason. The fact that they even gave him a shot at point guard today is encouraging. It means that they are going to put the ball in his hands. And as we know, D'Angelo Russell is not Mr. Reliable. I think Cooper Flagg, his shooting is going to be an issue. I do think his field goal percentage could be a big issue this season. But other than that, he should do everything.
Here's a bit of a non-plot twist for you. Cooper Flagg went only one position differently last time, 43. Yeah. So even with the early good look at the preseason, we haven't overdrafted him. He's just two positions earlier. Back to you, D-Mac. Who are you looking at?
Yeah, I know he's injured, but De'Aaron Fox, again, it's just the upside. And I'm hoping that he doesn't miss too much of the season to start. To follow up there, look, I'm sort of down on Franz Wagner coming into this season, but he's just a solid pick at around this point. Or I go the upside of a Zion, the hype train of Zion. I'm gonna go Franz. Let's play it safe because I'm a safe sort of dude.
Oh, Kingy.
I had Zion queued up and ready to go. So, yeah.
Please respond. Please respond to our distinguished gentleman from Perth. Go.
Oh no! Look, I mean, he was considering Zion there. I think obviously a lot of people are very down on Zion, so there will be some people that will absolutely hate Zion as a top 45, top 50 player. But I mean, we see the videos, don't we? I mean, you saw him live. He looks good. He looks fit. He looks motivated. So
absolute
I don't know.
Wrecking ball.
I feel like it's this season or nothing. Like this is this is when he has to do it. So fingers crossed he can.
I did this because I just love taking this guy in the 40s. I'm going to take Vucevic. I just think it's a safe, solid pick at this point in time. In fact, every time I see his ADP and where it is, I'm like, oh, there's no other centers and shit. You know, like where you play like addition by subtraction. Who else is playing center in the Chicago Bulls? Do we still think Jalen Smith is someone that we all want to own? I'm not sure. His ADP right now is the lowest on ESPN, the highest at 52 on Yahoo, 32 on ESPN, 46. So yeah, he makes my threshold in here to make my my top 50, and I'll round it out with Vucevic right there with the 46th pick. Last time to finish off this round, we had Advia, Jaylen Brown, Vooch, Paolo, who's gone earlier, Ja Moran, who's gone earlier, and Darius Garland, who I'm sure that D-Mac will take with his next pick as his injured point guard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a few names here that I could consider. I'll go with Brandon Miller.
I like it.
I don't think he's been a standout in the preseason, but it's sort of, I'm just hitching my wagon, I guess, to the fact that Charlotte will hopefully be healthy, LaMelo will be healthy, and Brandon Miller will put together a good season. I'd argue that Miles Bridges has looked better than him, but I'm not taking Miles Bridges here.
Oh, here we go. This is
look, I've gone Jaylen Brown, not that controversial. I think he's got massive usage. Yeah, some deficiencies in his 9-cat game, but I'm okay with him, just pure volume. LeBron James, I've grabbed him at pick 49. So inside the top 50, some are saying stay away inside the top 50. I'm all right with it. I don't know if he's going to be out as long as what some people are predicting.
And look, very, very fair. And the fact is, you've made him top 50 now. He was earlier on, still LeBron James at the end of the day. Kingy, it is back to you. The guys who did slide out of this list, Advia, Denny is gone. And he's the only one who didn't make the top 50 by one marker. If he's taken next, he makes the list. You took my bloody cue. Good picking. I like it.
Yeah, again, I'll preface by saying I would absolutely not draft Joel Embiid here, but that's a me decision. That's not a holistic sort of NBA fantasy decision. I think once you hit the 5th round of a standard draft, assuming you've drafted a center already, I'd be okay with taking Embiid. So I have Wemby if we're looking at my team, so I'm okay with Embiid as a backup center, and if you get 40 games out of him, that's fine.
I agree. Now, look, I'm going to take a couple of back-to-back guards just because I really want to see how D-Mac responds to that. I'm going to take Darius Garland and Tyler Hero. Darius Garland is on the shorter end of the injury return for our point guards. How are you feel about this, D-Mac? Are you okay? Do you need me to leave one?
I'll survive. Yeah, I'll start rocking back and forward in a minute, but no, I'll survive. You take Darius there.
I'll take Darius Garland there. Why he is only out for a very minimal amount of time compared to the rest of the point guards who are out currently. A very short absence. I believe he'll come back and be fine. I am then looking for Tyler Hero, who I still think he's probably out for 15 to 20 games. If I can miss a month of the season, I still think he returns that value. He's a top 30 player potentially at the end of the day. I'm very happy taking him in the 50s in my drafts and stashing him to IR. In case of emergency, break Tyler Hero. Kingy, back to you.
Let's go with Denny in here. So I think you mentioned before he went inside the top 50 last time.
Yeah, he was the 50th.
Just outside. So not a big shift there for me. I think he's pretty safe as a top 60 player.
Also, we don't have any veto rights this time, by the way. There's no veto rights. If we don't like it, we just tell someone they don't like it. That's fine.
Yeah. I've just grabbed Desmond Bain there. I think it's a solid pick. He's not going to have as much to do on that Orlando Magic team this season compared to when he was at Memphis, but he's just solid and he's just a very nice, tidy, efficient fantasy player. So I'm grabbing him there. And he's slipped down boards, and for good reason. If it's a Zubac, we've got Brook Lopez behind him, but I still think he's a solid pick there. He's going to play 30 plus minutes. I think he's fine there.
Yeah, fair enough. Kingy, what about you?
Yeah. I think we'll start to see the run of centers now. So I think in the next sort of 20 to 30 picks, every third pick will be a center kind of thing. And I'm going to now this guy, I don't think it's controversial, but I think it's higher than his ADP. I'm going to go with Jakob Poeltl.
Oh, no, I love that. I had him I was about to start searching through centers who were available, and Jakob Poeltl was probably going to be one of the top ones because it's like Duran, Allen, Gobert, Williams, and Ayton, Sarr, and Okongwu, and then Hartenstein. I think it's an excellent pick. And talk us through Poeltl making the list.
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, he was a top 40 player last year.
Yep.
They haven't added any center depth, and it sounds like Toronto want to compete. So he will potentially play. I think he only played about 29 minutes a game last year. So bump that up to 31 with no competition for minutes. I think it's just simple math.
I love Poeltl there as well, Kingy, but he hasn't played. Has he played at all in preseason? He's had some back issues. Does that make you hesitate at all?
I don't think he's played. No. I haven't. I mean, I haven't heard anything to sort of say that he's going to miss time. It's more of I'm hoping more of a management thing. Maybe we do hear something in the next week. But no, I think he's locked in for big minutes, assuming he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I would agree. Look, someone who I know you had on your breakout show recently, D-Mac, I'm all in, on Asar Thompson. I think he definitely has a role in Detroit. I think last year with the blood clots and coming back, we saw him take a step backwards in a way to begin the season. Then he came on. There's definitely a role to fill in Detroit. I think they're finding an identity. I think he is one of these quote-unquote breakout players of this year. I have no problem. I have him as a top 50 player overall. Getting him right here at 59, I'm okay with. And then like Kingy said, like you did with Zubac, Embiid, Adebayo, the great centers are going. Mark Williams is a viable double-double machine. I've liked him since the beginning of the preseason. Kingy, I know that you have too. D-Mac, I know that you've tried to pick him up in some drafts. I think he is a top 50 player. Getting him here inside that, possibly even top 40 player. No whatsoever.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Injury risk with Mark Williams, obviously, and he also hasn't played during the preseason. So he hasn't.
I'm not losing my stock. I'm not backing off I'm not getting off my rock of Mark Williams Gibraltar yet. I'll tell you that much.
No.
You've been solid on Mark Williams all preseason, mate. So you got to stick to your guns.
It's gun sticking, 100%.
Yeah. Yep. I'll go with another center, Jalen Duran.
Fair.
He is one that has played bits and pieces and looks healthy, looks good. Detroit are probably going to push for a top 4 spot in the East, potentially top 2. I don't know. So I like Jalen Duran. He was very good at the back end of last year.
Is you taking Peyton Pritchard just to annoy me for taking Garland and Hero?
In a way, yes, but I also like Pritchard. But who doesn't? I haven't seen him alongside Anthony Simons yet in preseason, I don't think. So that's a little bit confusing and annoying, but I still expect him to start, and he's going to just be bloody great for the Celtics. So I grabbed him, but just before him, I grabbed Kobe White. So a couple of question marks on Kobe White, but I expect him to have a really solid season for the Bulls.
Yeah, 100%. Kingy, back to you, mate. ADP-wise, we're looking at Levine, Jalen Green, who hasn't played in the preseason, Julius Randle, DeMar DeRozan, Jared Allen, Larry Markkinen, OG Anunoby around this point. Love the OG Anunoby pick. I think that's
yeah.
as
I'll
house.
go. I think Levine could potentially be a top 50-ish kind of guy, but again, just that's whole situation in Sacramento. I mean, they have no one that plays defense. Keon Ellis, I suppose, when they roll him out, but their starting five is arguably the worst in terms of defensive upside.
I would agree with that. Look, a guy who I haven't lost faith in, and I just want to take point guards off the board. Emmanuel Quickly. He's looked okay in the preseason, had some flashes. I really liked him last season. His ADP on Fantrax is 72. I see him as a top 60 player at 63 right now. I'm putting him in my queue straight away. And Johnny Furphy, I feel like I should draft with my next pick just because of the dunks that he's rocking down and us being Australian. Should we not just – how high is Furphy on our boards? He hasn't made them yet, correct? I'm not responding inadvertently here at all?
No, he's not on my board just yet.
Okay, good.
Exciting. Great for the Boomers, but yeah, not fantasy worthy in standard leagues.
Larry Marketing, for all intents and purposes, the Utah Jazz are going to play this year, and they're going to run through their roster, which is very interesting to hear. So Larry Marketing, I think, gets some run. How much we see him miss is not, but I do think we see him return somewhat inside the top 70, top 60, and his teammate Walker Kessler, you could say Kingy is in the same boat.
Yeah, I completely slept on Kessler. I would have picked him probably closer to 50. I just absolutely forgot about him. His ADP must be a bit low in Fantrax because he wasn't sort of in the top few names there. So
I'll tell you exactly where he is. Right now he is down. And I thought it was because Jakob Poeltl on Fantrax is 67, so he makes at least you have to scroll. Walker Kessler on Fantrax is 105.
Oh, that's
so
why
he
I didn't
almost,
see. Yeah,
that's where you see it. There we go. Oh, Jordan Poole, welcome to the pool party.
Yeah, again, shout out to the guys that you saw last weekend, Matty G. But yeah, I've gone Zach LaVine just beforehand. I think he's solid in the middle stages of drafts. He's not going to be a top 20 guy, but I think at pick, what did I grab him at? Pick 66? I think, 66, yeah, I think that's fine. And Jordan Poole at 67, going to have a pretty good start to the season. No DeJounte Murray. We'll see how it all blends with Zion and Trey Murphy and whatnot. But yeah, I like Jordan Poole there.
Yeah, I love that. Miles Bridges, I've been a big fan of. You know that from all of our drafts. D-Mac, Kingy, people are starting to really pay attention to Miles Bridges, and he's starting to creep up in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's looked really good in the preseason. Off-court stuff aside, we're here to talk about fantasy basketball. So he's been aggressive. I mean, we know how good he can be. He was a top 30 player, if we think back sort of 4 years ago, when he and LaMelo were both relatively healthy. Oh, you're going to take my guy.
Which one?
So no, I'm Buzelis.
Which one?
Well, they're both of them, but it's fine.
You can't take both. Choose one. Okay, I'm taking Kamara because the clock's going, and it's annoying for everyone involved. Let me just turn the stands off. Where's that? Can't even be bothered. There we go. Yeah, I'm taking Kamara. He's off the block. So you like both of the guys that I had in my queue. You tell me why. Well, now I scramble to take somebody else, please, and thank you for screwing me over. You're welcome.
I mean, Kamara, again, it's simple math. He was really good last year, and nothing has changed. So he's someone you probably don't have to take at pick 69. You can probably get him closer to 90, but he is a top 70 player. And then the next guy, well, I don't know who you're taking. I'm taking
DeAndre Ayton because I don't think it's a thing can't be two things. We can't say that we love Austin Reeves because LeBron's out. And then not forget that there's a team of players. And the guy that they acquired was DeAndre Ayton, who needs to prove himself on this random 2-year contract that he has, that they've spoken up in the preseason. They needed a center. They've got a center. He is more than capable when he plays. I think he's a legitimate 16, 18, and 10 threat every single night. In fact, he is one of only a few players in the NBA who has averaged a double-double for every single year of his career so far, of his 7-year NBA career. So I see him getting an absolute bump as well. And so for me, DeAndre Ayton is an absolute must. And getting him where he is in drafts, his ADP data, I don't think is even close to where he is. 68 on Yahoo, 99 on ESPN, 72 on Fantrax. I'm taking him with his ADP, but I actually have him higher than that. And then you've taken the booze bus, as I like to call him, Mattis Buzelis.
Yeah, looked pretty good preseason. But the biggest takeaway for me is just that it looks like the Bulls trust him and they're going to play him big minutes. So the production's been fine. Defense hasn't really been there yet, but there'll be some bumps in the road. It's only his second season in the league. But yeah, I think he's going to do a lot for Chicago this year.
Yeah, 100%. Back to you now, Kingy. Talk us through your last two picks there too while you think about that, Kingy. D-Mac?
Yeah, I've gone DeMar DeRozan earlier in the preseason. Not as high on him, but getting him at pick 72, I think, again, similar to when I picked up Levine, just safe at that point. So I'm not shooting for the stars there. Next pick, a little bit different, a little bit more upside with Brandon Ingram. He's looked good for the Raptors, and I think he's going to be one of the high usage guys on that team. So I like him at this point here.
Kingy, back to you. What are you thinking, mate?
What are we up to? 74.
Not long to go. 25 picks and we're out of here.
Yeah, look, I'll throw Zach Edey in here.
No.
I know he's injured and definitely he's going to miss
guy.
a little bit of time, but yeah, I think.
No, on principle, I'm undoing that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to undo that last pick.
You can if you want to take.
No, it's fine. Don't hurt my feelings. It's fine. It's just a podcast. It's not my real emotions are at play. They're kind of really at play. Tara Eason stock. Where are we? This list right here of guys. Look, I'm going to take another center who I've really liked for a whole time. Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm a very big fan of. And I'm going to take someone else who you know that I'm a big fan of as well, D-Mac from all our drafts, Cam Johnson. I have no problem with these guys. I have Cam Johnson. I've said this from day one. Cam Johnson will be the better fantasy player at the end of the day for the whole season than Michael Porter Jr. Joe Tsai coming out and basically saying the Brooklyn Nets might actually give the three of us contracts to go and play there for a 10-dayer at any point in the season confirms my suspicions. One, that I am worthy of an NBA contract. And two, don't take anyone inside the top 100 if they play for the Brooklyn Nets. And that's my working theory.
I like the theory. I have a similar theory with the Jazz, but you guys are still pretty high on. Did you go back to back Larry Markkinen and Walker Kessler? So I'm probably not as high on those guys. So my thoughts around the Nets are the same.
We haven't seen him yet, but Jalen Green still makes your list there, can you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's pretty limited, but he's going to score a lot. He'll shoot a lot of threes. Hopefully he can do some other stuff. Yeah, and I mean, just around the top 80, I think getting a guy that could average 22 points a game is pretty valuable. And unlike Brooklyn, Washington, Utah, I think Phoenix will play the season out or will aim to play the season out. So I'm not too worried about shutdown.
Now, I want to do a little bit of an interesting thing here because the next pick is the 80th pick in the draft. We have 20 picks to go. But what's really interesting right here is that the ADP consensus is very different from our top 100 because I think it's really important to look at the list that is below. So let's just not worry about our list. Let's look at this list. And I don't want to refresh the draft. Sometimes this happens and it will go sideways. So let's give it a quick go because sometimes it goes, you can see all the leagues. Here we go. Here is the full ADP data currently. So we're at pick 80. Guys who haven't gone off the board, we don't see in the top 80 right now, whose ADP exceeds our markers. Julius Randle, Gobert, Hart, Mikal Bridges, Michael Porter, Alex Sarr, who I will add to my queue as someone of interest. I'll also add Gobert as a person of interest that I'm targeting. Okongwu, Naz Reid, Anthony Simons. These are the only players who are up to the 80th pick of where we are that haven't made the list. Sarr, MPJ, Bridges, Hart, Gobert, and Randall. Let's see where they go. I think it's an important thing to look at and exercise at this point in time, just to see where ADP data is, and you take us next on your journey. There it is.
Yeah, look, I took Jarrett Allen just because he was falling. I think he's still going to be solid. Yes, Evan Mobley's going to take another step up and probably play a little bit more at the 5. Quite expansive game now on the offensive end. We know what a good rim protector Mobley is. I still think Jarrett Allen's going to be solid. So he may not play as much as he did last season and the prior season, but I think that he's just a solid pick at pick 78. And then I've backed it up with more of an upside guy. It's one of my guys, Donovan Klingen. I think he has an outstanding season. Yang Hansen and Robert Williams. I don't think they're coming to take his minutes. So Donovan Klingen, his conditioning is better. He's a fitter man. I think he's going to run out games, and that bodes well for his fantasy value.
Agreed. And then Julius. Oh, I should pause it. Julius Randle. I will pause it there before I make mine. You took Julius Randle here. An increased role this year. You think he's acclimated to his teammates, Kingy, in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think he's pretty solid. His floor and his ceiling are pretty close. Like his best case scenario, he's probably top 60, and his floor is probably top 70, something like that. So he's not very exciting. He doesn't really play defense, but you'll get points, out of position assists, decent rebounds. I think Gobert is on the way down in terms of production. So, yeah, I think pretty safe in this range if you're not looking for excitement. Julius Randle fits the bill.
You just said not looking for excitement. The first thing that I've gone is I've thought about Tobias Harris.
Mr. Excitement himself.
Mr. Excitement. The fun times of Tobias.
Life of the party, Tobias Harris.
Life of the party, Tobias Harris. I was putting you because the second so I'm like, Tobias Harris should be coming up pretty soon.
Tobias Harris would be a player. Like, I think you draft him anywhere in this range, it's fine. But if I opened up my fantasy team, because I often forget. I'm in so many leagues, I forget who I draft. And then it's opening night. I'm setting my lineup. If I opened my team and saw Tobias Harris there, I'd just be a bit depressed. So, yeah.
I love that. I'd be a bit depressed if I had him.
A bit sad.
A bit sad. Look, he's the girlfriend, and I've said that you just like, well, we've been together now for like 8 years. Are you guys getting engaged soon? Oh, look, we're just in this different spot right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like that person who's in your life for a long time and you can't justify. It's like, that's Tobias Harris in fantasy basketball. He just exists in the ether. Like, he's a top 100 player, but we'll put him in a trade really quickly. Like, he's the first one out there. Look, I think Rudy Gobert now at 82 is a completely fine value. He is a top 100 value. I am probably tantalized more by Derek Lively, but I am going to go a couple of centers here, including Sarr, who I think has got upside in the second year. I love what I've seen of him in the preseason, up and down the floor. Rudy Gobert, I've got no problem backing that up right about there.
Yeah, I think that's safe. And Tari Eason, I like Tari Eason there. We spoke about Nets, and I'm completely going against what I said, but I'm just going for a guy that I think he smashes the ADP. It's our guy, MPJ. It's going to depend on your league settings, but I think MPJ completely dominates that ADP. He's going to have massive usage, so I'm comfortable grabbing him there. This point, you talked about Tobias Harris being boring. I think I've picked a few boring guys. Do I go Tobias?
Are you doing Tobias?
You know what? I'm going to go another boring guy. Johnny Collins.
Oh, John Collins. You love Collins. You've drafted him.
I do love John Collins. He's just so efficient. I love him.
Taking my...
Well, your cue's on the screen. So
shut up, Kingy. I know you can see it. Oh, look, I'm going to take Tobias Harris now just because no one else is going to take him. At an 87, I think he's absolutely worth it. But someone who I didn't type in there, and and I think, again, you guys have drafted with me a bunch. You know I like Devin Vassell. I love what I've seen in him. My Vassell and my Castle. I've been trying to pick these up, guys, late wherever I can. Devin Vassell, I just think, especially in the short term right now, with De'Aaron Fox, has a lot more load to carry. They've shown him as the point guard at times as well, mind you. They started him at point guard the other night, which I love. Look, I'm happy taking it there and backed into someone who hasn't made a lot of top 100 lists, but should be. You've taken Norm Powell.
Yeah, he's not sort of on everyone's radar, but he was very good last year. He's in a really good situation, at least for the first 1 to 2 months while Tyler Hero is out. Wiggins looks trash. Bam is not a big scorer. So I just think Powell's going to have to do a lot. So, much like that guy that you just took, who is also going to have to do a lot of scoring.
Yeah, Shaden Sharp, I think he was one of my guys in terms of potential breakouts this season. And again, Matty G, I know you love him. I heard you your depressed sigh at the end there. But yeah,
Oh,
Shaden Sharp, he's going to be just an elite
me.
scorer. Yeah, I do. And I know how you draft as well. So I can't wait for some of our battles in some drafts as well. On
You
the
just
turn,
know at the beginning when he's coming back, you're like, Matty's taking Shaden Sharp. Matty's taking Shaden Sharp. Yeah, I will. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's shown that in the preseason. A couple of good games in there as well.
Yeah, another guy that some of us have been down on, and his preseason's been outstanding. But again, that's been at times without Bam and without Jovic.
Yeah.
But Kellaway, I still think, even if he is coming off the bench, I still think he can outperform that ADP at the moment. So grabbing him at pick 91, I'm pretty confident there.
Mikal Bridges sneaking in to your top 100?
Yeah, he's very, very boring as well. But
very boring.
You know that he's going to play a lot. Doesn't get injured, chips in across the board. Very safe in this range.
How many picks do I have left? Look, I can be able to take Josh Hart because I think, I'm going to take someone who's injured. And the news came out the other day, and I still drafted him. I managed to pick him up in the auction league for $1 because I still believe that, again, two things can be true. If we're drafting guys who are going off the board like earlier on, like we've already taken the Zach Edys of the world. We've already taken the Tyler Heroes of the world. We've already taken guys who are out for about the 15 to 20 marker. I think Keegan Murray with his thumb injury is in a similar point of that. I think Keegan Murray could possibly return a top 75, top 80 player. So if I can get him around 100, I think we have that return. That was my 93rd pick of the draft. I think he is a top 100 player of the season. And if I can draft him on draft day, I think he is the number one candidate to drop and fall because nobody thinks about the bloke. Oh, he's injured for a while. I think if you can draft him and put him in IR, I think that's a really strong play. So for me, I picked him up in our auction draft. Everyone, you guys were there for $1. I knew no one wanted to touch him. And I'm like, you know what? Considering other people are paying $25 for similar guys, I was pretty comfortable with that at that point in time. And then I'm going to back up Joshy Hunt. I'm going to unpause it. I think I'm going to take I'll get, does anyone like Hart? I'm going to get Hart, but also someone who's I've really seen impressed with in the preseason is Derek Lively. I'm going to take Derek Lively here. I think he starts. I think the Dallas Mavericks are a great defensive team. And Nembhard, a bit of I guess, one of the last great point guards that are around, mate.
Yeah, he's looked very good. Doesn't have super high upside, but the Pacers are playing really quick, which we knew they were going to. And Nembhard has looked very comfortable running that point guard position. Yes. TJ McConnell is out for a month, so he's going to get a really good look at a lot of minutes.
Paul George making the list, Mac. You love your injured small forwards now, do you? Yeah, look, I love these injured guys, and former first round guy, first round value. He's never going to be that guy again. But when you get him at pick, 96? It's just an upside pick there. So I think he can comfortably beat that in terms of per game value. Whether or not he plays enough to be a top 100 guy overall is another question. But a guy that I have way more confidence in terms of health and longevity, Christian Brown, boring. There's room for his efficiency to actually go down. But at this point, I don't mind it at all. What was he? A top 60 guy last season. So, I'm comfortable there.
Oh, Mitch Robinson, that's about as a king year's move as you could get.
Yep. I almost forgot about him, but I don't know whether you actually have to take him as a top 100 player, but I definitely have him inside the top 100.
Look, a guy that I have
value,
a guy who I just have edging inside there is old mate Josh Hart, and I'm going to do a payback to Shaden Sharp, and I'm going to drop Kyrie Irving.
Oh, there you go.
Just there you go, D-Mac. Thank you. That's a big. You're very welcome. Look, I have Kyrie there. I think he returns that at the end of the day, but again, there's no need to draft him on draft day. I see him as a top 100 player quite easily with the time that he comes back. Take us down through the rest of your picks. We got your last two picks, gentlemen. Pick those up.
I went with Keyshawn George. Again, not a player you need to take inside the top 100. I just wanted him to be on our show because I love what he's done, the opportunity. So he's just slowly moved up my draft boards from sort of a last round flyer to someone that I'm pretty comfortable taking in the 10th round.
Love that. And your last pick there,
Yeah, pick 100, Drew Holiday. I think, no Scoot. I think he's got a lot to do. Veteran presence on that Portland Trailblazers team. So love Drew Holiday right here.
love that. Now, other guys who I have on my list who, let's look down the ADP board about where they're going. I will refresh it so that refreshes, because sometimes, for instance, my Fantrax does not. Guys like Nas Reed, Anthony Simons, Cam Thomas, RJ Barrett, CJ McCollum, Andrew Wiggins, Bradley Beal, Claxton, Matherin, Green. Any names here really not stand out to you guys that we didn't draft, like Reed Shepherds of the world? For me, Herb Jones was fringy. I didn't pick him up, but these were the guys that I was looking at.
Yeah, a lot of nice options here, and I think there's some upside there as well. CJ McCollum to start the season. I fear what happens later on in the season, but I think he's a clear top 100 guy to start the season.
Yeah, who do you see is could possibly be in this list that we missed out on?
I think Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd is one of those that probably could push inside the top 100. Cam Thomas is another one. Pajemski, we didn't. No one drafted him, but he's looked very good as well. And the Warriors are certainly not a young team. So, I like him. D'Angelo Russell, hypothetically, could be a top 100 player, but it's been a pretty depressing preseason for him. Look, I think what this does show you is that even outside the top 100, there's still value to be found.
Yeah, 100%. And there's always going to be value wherever you draft on your list. I will publish this and get out our full recap. Tell us, where can everybody find you, Mr. Adam King?
At Adam King 91 on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I don't actually do anything on there, but people tag me in things, so that's pretty cool, because people have been following me and saying, "Oh, I saw you on Instagram. You do basketball stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I do." They're just people that aren't on Twitter, I guess. Old Man Squad is where all my stuff is, and obviously we've got a lot coming out. I just recorded a show before this as well, my second sort of preseason takeaway show, so that'll be out at some point in the next day or two. And then we'll have mock drafts and real drafts and all sorts of things before we kick off the real deal next Wednesday, our time, I think it is.
Yep. You're right.
Yes.
Yep.
And DMAC, where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, similarly on Twitter at NBA Fantasy Bible, as well as on Believe in Fantasy with you, Matty G, and you can find me as well on YouTube at NBA Fantasy Bible.
And you, of course, can find me right here on Believe in Fantasy. You can find us, Believe in Fantasy, by liking and subscribing to all of our content. We are here for you. You take care. You be well. And you can find me at NBA G Wiz. We will see you soon.